Hey, I wanted to talk about the way that I mount my action camera to my backpack shoulder while I'm live streaming. And there's a couple of little pieces I found that go together really well and I thought I would share them. All the links to the items will be in the description. I'll try to find everything on Amazon.com so it's easy for everybody to go ahead and find. But I bought most of these things on Amazon.jp because I live in Japan. But anyway, the way that I like to have my camera shoulder mounted is up here. So I'll walk you through the few pieces that it takes to do that. This is a telesin mount that just goes onto the strap of your backpack, and it's got this good texture stuff on the back so it doesn't move around too much, but if you need to grab it and move it manually, you can actually move it, but it doesn't like slide all over the place. So this very simply has some really strong Velcro, and you put it onto your backpack like this, bring this around here, and just strap it on. And like I said, it stays mostly in place, but if you need to move it, like it's not impossible to get it to move around. So it's pretty nice. This is the killer feature. I stream with a Action 4 or an Action 5 in this case at the moment. And I am using the official DJI magnetic mount, which is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. But the way that I connect it into this, because this is a GoPro style clip, is I found a GoPro style clip adapter that lets you rotate this piece around 360 degrees. And it has a screw on the bottom that you can use to tighten or loosen the tension that you get out of this. And admittedly, like once a month, I need to come and just retighten it a little bit. It just takes a minute. But I carry a tiny little screwdriver in my streaming backpack. It's not a big deal, it doesn't weigh anything. So all this mounts together like this, and the reason that this screw is so fancy, the rotating mount is so fancy, is because when you clip this on, which is, as you can see, very simple to do, you can twist this guy up, and if you need to rotate this direction so that the camera is, countering any sort of strap direction that could be weird, you can simply just grab it and move it like that. It's also really nice if you stick it onto like a tripod, like let's say you're sitting down for lunch or dinner or whatever, and you're streaming it, you put it on a tripod, which I don't have in my hand, just pretend my hand is a tripod. It gives you a lot of flexibility in where you can point the camera. And I find this is just super easy because you can just grab it and move it around. It's like really, really nice. Another little piece that I found that is kind of handy is one of these GoPro thumbscrews. And as you can see, it rotates a joint in the middle. That might not seem like much, but as you can see, like a normal size GoPro screw sticks out farther than the camera. It's kind of clumsy looking. And if you have this, you can just fold it up and it just makes everything a tiny little more compact. And also it gives you leverage. If you're like, I can't twist it, I twisted it too tight or whatever, you can just twist it down and it gives you a lot of leverage to adjust the tension on everything. So I find it just to be really an easy way to just kind of like leave it up one way and then tighten it a little bit when you need it to be in place, untighten it when you want it to be a little looser. So if you have it on yourself and you want to loosen it a little bit, it makes it really simple to just grab it and twist it. And now it won't move, but now let's say you want to grab it and like point the camera down. And I leave it at a tension that is sort of like tight, but I can still grab it. Like it's not gonna like flop around with motion, but it stays in a pretty good location on your shoulder. And the reason that I like this is because if I go someplace and I don't want to put somebody on camera, like you're going to like buy something and the cashier is there or something, you just don't want to be rude about like presenting a bunch of people onto the stream. It makes it really easy to just grab it and point it straight down. Like it takes me 2 seconds to do that. And I also will use this rotating feature if I need to show something that might be doxing somebody or something like on my screen on my phone or something. It's really easy to just take this and point it like this. And I mean, it's like not a flattering view. It's like kind of going up your nose, but like you're instantly not, it takes like no time, like just like 1 second. And you can instantly be like protecting whatever it is that you might be doxing by accident. Or like I said, if you're just like worried about running into a person, just like bang, they're not on stream anymore. And as much as I don't really like these magnetic mounts, they get stuck all the time, right? Like when you try to pull them off, like with one hand or whatever, it's almost like you have to use both hands for better or for worse. And it can be kind of fiddly to get them to clip back in. It does make a really clean way to just grab something and have the camera like detached from the entire system very quickly. And then it's even faster than the already fast GoPro pull down thing. So I just find the GoPro clip is a little easier to plug in. One other thing I would suggest if you're going to be streaming with one of the Action 5 or 4 cameras is Ugreen makes these really good cables that work with the Action 4 in UVC mode. Get a cable that's got an angle on it like this, because you can just throw this into the side of the camera and it's just like, that's it. That's the whole cable. Like, it's really slick. It's not like sticking out the side. It's not putting weird pressure or anything on the side of the camera. I used the Action 4 with one of these cables for, I guess it was about a year, almost a year. And I used it a lot, and I never had a problem at all. Like, never had an issue with like the cable coming loose. I didn't have to hot glue anything or anything like that. And if you get a cable with just the right amount of flex, you can still point it straight down, and the cable isn't causing any problems like on the pressure of the plug or whatever like that. So anyways, that's very simple like stuff as far as IRL streaming goes, but it's the best system that I've come up with for having something easily mountable on you and something you can move around. I thought I'd just share that. Like I said, I'll put all the description in the description. I'll put links to everything here that I just discussed, and then you too will be able to buy it. Just to be clear, with the Action 5, you can't use UVC mode right now, like today. Like, who knows if they'll push an update tomorrow and it'll be good again. But with the Action 5, I'm using USB-C to HDMI. And you can hit me in the comments and I can explain more about that or whatever. But at the moment, it's kind of a mess.